Alright, we've made it to Wurra General Store, and this is our last fuel stop, water stop for quite a while. So we've got to top everything up what we have on our bikes, being bladders and jerry cans and anything else that we can fill. So let's get stuck in that. Looks like Nerb's got to run, so I'm going to get my two jerrys out and get the bladder out, fill that and top all the bikes up. So a bit of prep work to do. Got to get the jerrys out of there, 2 5-litre jerrys in each pannier. I have the Giant Loop fuel bladder. That's going to hold, what is it, 2 gallons, so just under, I can squeeze about 7.8 litres into this bad boy, and that'll sit across the back. So alright, we'll get into that and start prepping everything. Okay, so I've got both front tanks, left and right, chockers. I have the rear 12 litres as full as it can go. My Giant Loop gas bag, it is 2 gallons, 7.6 litres. I managed to squeeze in nearly 8 litres in that. And if you can see down in there, 1 5-litre jerry in the left pannier. Coming over this side, another 5-litre jerry in the right pannier. However, I managed to squeeze in 6 litres in each. So that's nearly a total of 20 additional litres. That gives me 42 total litres until the next fuel stop. So I'm hoping that's going to, be enough. We've, calculated that it is. So we'll soon find out. Nerb's fully loaded up. Tom's doing the same. So it's going to be good.
They got a jerry can in there?
Oh, they might. Got a little problem here with one of Nerb's bladders.
It's leaking.
You can see it's leaking and we don't know where from. We've checked. Hey, look, it's coming out on the top here too.
It is?
Yeah. Well, it's coming out everywhere. I don't know. It's all saturated.
I'm going to see if they've got a jerry can.
Yeah, so obviously his Desert Fox 5-litre bladder is leaking, and I think we need most of our fuel. Tom's running a couple of MSR bladders, which are got a little leak on top there, you can kind of see. So I'm hoping that we can get going, get an hour and a half up the road, and then put those leaky fuel bladders straight into the bike, so I'm not losing any fuel at all. These other 2 bladders, which are on left and right on there, aren't leaking. There's no idea why this one's leaking. It's just one of those things that can just go wrong. Yeah, okay, well I'll continue packing up my bike and then we'll see what's going to happen. We fixed the leaking bladder problem with a plastic jerry can. That's good that the shop had it. It should do the trick, mate.
Yep.
Yep, we managed to salvage or save all the fuel.
I think we lost probably a litre, a litre and a half.
Yep.
But it's not too much.
All good. And then I've got my bladder on the back there, so it just sits nicely up against the bag and against my butt. And I've just got it strapped down on the back there. It shouldn't bounce around too much. I've tested this before with a ride, with it full, and she didn't move too much. I can tighten those if it's going around, but we'll see how we go. Cool. That'll be the first one I use anyway, the one up high, with the other one sitting down low in the panniers. They shouldn't be too much of a problem. So I'm sitting on the bike and you can feel it when you sway it. Doesn't feel too bad. Got no choice now. That's what I've got until it gets emptied. Definitely the rear end's a lot lower now with an extra 18 litres, or no, 20. Yeah, 20 kilos on the rear. We're onto the Gawler Ranges Road. So all through this region there's these awesome salt lakes like that one there. Really cool. And this road that we're on has just freshly been graded. We only just passed a grader a couple of kilometres back, working away, him in a bulldozer. Alright, I want to tell you how this ride came about. How am I here right now? It would have been about 6 months ago. Brendan rang me up and he said to me, mate, do you want to come on an adventure ride with me this year? And I said, yes, oh I do. I haven't got anything planned, I'm keen as mustard. And he says, oh, I want to go and do Goog's Track. And I said, yeah, all right, that sounds good. What is it and where is it? And he went on to tell me that it's in South Australia, and it's a desert track running north from Ceduna. And a lot of people know it as the Mini Simpson Desert. And as soon as he said that, my ears pricked up, because last year I crossed the Simpson Desert, but I did it supported. And I've always had this burning ambition to do it unsupported, because I think that's the goal, that's the biggest challenge, is to get across the Simpson Desert unsupported, just with your own means. So you carry all your fuel, all your water and food, and that's the challenge. And I thought, how am I going to know if I can actually do it? Because I crossed the Simpson Desert pretty easy. I enjoyed it. It was a challenge, it was tough, but I really enjoyed the fact that I managed to get across. I didn't have any big problems, and I don't know if it was because of having it supported or not, or what it may be, but I always, at the back of my mind, was thinking, geez, I would love to challenge myself and do this unsupported. I've seen a lot of videos on YouTube, I know a lot of people that have done it. I would like to put myself to the test and see if I can do it. So once Nerb said that this was a mini Simpson Desert, I thought, yep, I'm in. This is a perfect stepping ground to load the bike up and see if I can do it. The Goog's Track's only a couple of 100k. The dunes aren't as big. I think they're 10 or 11 meters average. It's deep sand as well, and yeah, so it's yeah, I guess that's why they class it as a mini Simpson Desert. I jumped online and there was a really good video done by a man on YouTube in a 4-wheel drive, and he gives a good idea of the type of terrain you're in, the sights you can see, the vegetation around, and a few other things. And once I saw that, I said, that's it, this is exactly what I'm after. This is exactly the type of proving ground I need to see if I'm going to be capable of crossing the Simpson. So we committed to that, and then we went about planning the ride. And so the Goog's Track was the centerpiece of it. That was what we wanted to do. And then we said, well, let's make it a nice big loop in South Australia and hit a couple of other national parks and deserts, and the Gawler Ranges, and the Gammon Ranges, and just maybe the north side of Flinders Ranges. So yeah, that's what we went about doing, and we had to gain permission for properties and permits for government land, and yeah, that all took 6 months to do, but we've done it all. So logistically, it was a bit of planning was needed, because we didn't want to ride on the highway. We didn't want to ride on Oodnadatta Track or any other major roads or major dirt roads. We wanted to get off the beaten track and ride the roads that aren't usually ridden, and go about it that way. So yeah, here we are. Nerb obviously got his mate Tom to come along. I asked my cousin and a couple of my friends, however they couldn't commit, as in they were busy or working and they just couldn't get the time, so unfortunately they're missing out. But here I am with Brendan and Tom, and we're riding along on the track, about to tackle the Goog's Track. So that's it, that's the story behind this ride. So we're just leaving the station after having a chat to the manager here and getting to know him, and now we're going to start heading west towards the Goog's Lake and the property border, where we'll cross over that into the national park. He's given us some advice and some distant markers to look for and what to see. He said the track's pretty good. So the station owner was telling us that they've had a little bit of rain in the last couple of weeks. They had 15 mil or so a few weeks ago, and then another 10 or 15. And he said everything's really nice and green, and as you would have seen in that puddle, yeah, he said it's going to make the track conditions really good. He was also telling us about this old telegraph line that runs along here, and it goes for a while out to one of the outstations on this property, where they used to you know, have 20 men working on this property and on horseback rounding up the sheep. And that's the way they used to keep communications between the main homestead and the outstation. It was right about the green tinge. It's like grass is trying to grow. So I find this track just amazing, and it's fantastic. But what also kind of blows my mind, being a city boy, is when we're talking to the manager and he said, yeah, just go up to my border and then you'll cross over through there. And we said, how far's your border? And he says, oh, it's just 60k. It's 60 kilometres away to your border. You know what I mean? For far out. It's unbelievable. I'm from the city and 60k is nearly going on holidays. And he's got 60k to his border. Fantastic. There's not much out here though. We passed a couple of shooters back there, and they're going dingo shooting because a few of them get through the dingo fence, which was built a number of years ago, and come down and yeah, start killing all the sheep, and obviously it costs the farmers money. So they get some professional shooters to come in and see if they can ping them off, because yeah, they're a pest this side of the fence. On the other side, not a problem. Let them run free, but they don't farm sheep up there. They do run cattle, because the cattle can obviously fend for themselves, but the sheep are easy pickings down here for the dingoes. So yeah, I haven't seen any. I saw a couple of kangaroos, I've seen a few emus, but there's not much out here at all. And for a big sheep station that runs 40,000 sheep, I haven't seen any. That just shows how big this place is. Anyway, we've got about 18 kilometres to go. Oh, 18k to go or so, a bit less, to the border, or a boundary fence that is. See you further on. Here it is. So it's a huge big rock in the earth, and they've just built this wall all the way around it. All the rainwater gets caught on there, it naturally flows down the bottom, and they've obviously built a nice big dam down the bottom to capture all this water for irrigation maybe, or water for their livestock. Pretty cool though. I don't know how old it is. It looks old, but geez, it would have been hard back in the day. They've collected thousands and thousands of rocks and built this wall all the way around that channels the water down here to another big man-made dam. Here we are, Googs Lake 70 and Mount Finke 145. Okay, this is it. We've got 70k down here until the lake and the Googs and Dinger Memorial, and we'll get some information on why the track's here and how it became, how it came about, because I'm not 100% sure. I know a father and son paved the way because they wanted to get south, I think, but we'll get a more accurate description once we get up there. Alright, the boys are just up in front. I will talk to you guys soon. The track's getting a bit sandier. We should be getting, the further we go, the more sandy it will get. And technical. Oh, we're going around. I'm not going to get through there. Definitely feel it loaded up. Oh, this is nothing though, this is hard. This is not sand. I didn't think it was this windy. 70k at this pace is going to take a while. Alright, see you further on, guys. Just coming along the track here, and what have I found along here? Looks like it's a little camping chair. There we go. Somewhere where it won't come out again. We'll know why he'll be sitting on the ground for the rest of this adventure. That should do it. Alright. Alright, we're in the thick of sand dunes now. They're 10, 11 metres in average height, they reckon. The worst part about this is the wheel tracks on left and right are so close to the bushes, and you're forever bashing into them. So I'm kind of riding down the centre here, which is not too bad. You know, it's unpaved sand, but the only thing is it's in the deep sand. It's not the hardest part, so the bike's working a bit harder, and I'm probably using a bit more fuel than I could or should have. But anyway, this is great though. If it wasn't for the trees and the vegetation here, it is reminiscent of the Simpson. No wonder they do call it the mini Simpson. But it's, and the sand's a bit, yeah, I don't know, sand's similar, red, and just as, maybe it's not chopped up as much because it doesn't get as much traffic forward drives through here, so the lines are a lot more definitive. You have those two wheel tracks, you then have that smooth patch in the centre that you can kind of get into and plough over. Whoa! We're in the thick of it now, mate. So much for paralleling these dunes, eh? Yeah. That's it. Well, we've stopped on the track heading to the campground just for a quick breather and something to eat. Just a quick regroup, and the boys are letting some tyre pressure down a little bit more. Like I said, the track itself is pretty good. It's just those trees, and I'll spin around. There we have it. So yeah, it's a standard soft sand, you know. Plenty of these little ant mounds and stuff. Looks like a crater on the moon, that picture there. But yeah, better gear up and get going again.
Well, the conditions have improved a little bit. The track's gotten a little bit wider, and I kind of guess it's probably because more four drives are using it, and the fact we're riding in the middle a little bit more as well, and it's got a little bit quicker. We're not going up over the dunes as often now, and we're kind of just in between them, but it's really enjoyable. You can kind of stand on the pegs, get on the gas, you know, get up in the fourth gear so you're not using too much fuel. The bike might labour a little bit, but you just let it dance below you, and you know, I'm hardly holding the handlebars, just the throttle, all the weight's on the pegs, you know, and the bike's actually moving around below me, and it just feels really natural. It's amazing. Oh, look at this section. This is even just not even sand, just here. This is clay base. We're still 20 odd K from the campground, and the sun is probably right in our eyes there. So, but this will make good time. You know, we'll be there in 20 minutes, a bit more. Hopefully Tom's going alright, hits this spot and can have a breather a bit. It's really enjoyable. I think that's obviously Nerb's track in the middle as well, so he's doing the same as what I'm doing. But he's going great on the big 1190 through here, doing an awesome job. That tree shut me off. Alright, we've reached Googs Lake, and we're just going to go down for a quick recce to see if we can find a bit of a campground. Oh, that is going to be good. That is going to be fun going up that tomorrow. There we go there. Yeah!
Well, we've made it to Googs Lake, and we're at the northern end of the Googs Lake, and yeah, it's pretty awesome. Bike's there, and as far as I can see, all that way is just yeah, a salty, sandy lake. No water to be seen, but yeah, see it, just see it there. Pretty cool. Only problem is, we've come down here to camp, or check it out anyway, and I think you saw it. That dune coming down here was really rough, and it's going to be interesting getting back up there. So that's everyone's got a bit of apprehension on getting back up there. So we've got to look for a camp, and we might deal with that in the morning.